actually have a topic and a list and agenda and everything. So we don't have a lot of time because I'm very conscious of the time. We have 20 minutes until our next call. So quick, just housekeeping things. The Success Club prize for this month is the Shakeology canister. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be so excited when it comes in. I can't wait because I'm so cheap, as you know, and I've wanted one, but
I have two, and I'm like, well, that's not where my money's going right now.
So excited for that. So that's a Success Club prize. Team Cup opens next Monday for registration. It's not it's for the month of August. And the prizes for that are the hat,
the shirt,
the Country Heat shirt, and then the
Did you get the email about Country Heat Live and participating in the info? What is that?
So that is anyone at Summit can go to be a live instructor of Country Heat, Insanity, P90, PIO. So if you wanted to do trainings or like at a local gym, if you're like a PIO certified trainer, that's what that is. So like Joey is a certified size instructor and a certified. So she would do that at that. She's actually a master trainer. So that's something different. But so anyone that pays to become a Country Heat instructor gets a copy of the program.
Gotcha.
And that's what they were saying. Yeah.
Hold on one second. What, Hannah? Well, that's too bad. All right. I'll be up in 2 minutes. Okay. Go lay down. Go for it. Whatever it takes to get you to go to sleep.
Parenting. Love it. Totally. So Summit, we leave Tuesday, and you and Katie and I will probably have 2 Tuesdays from now, 2 weeks from today. Oh my God. You and Katie and I will probably do a call next week just to make sure we're all ready and set to go. Brooke is picking us up from the airport, and she's taking us to the grocery store and then to our hotel so we can get some food.
Yeah, I'm staying with Brooke.
Yes. Oh, amazing.
Thank God.
I know. Thank God. She's awesome. And then we have our team dinner Tuesday night.
Yep.
And I've got some details of certain things that are happening Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday are already booked, and then Sunday we leave. Yeah. So we'll do that on another call to get ready for Summit.
Okay.
Team Cup again. So you're part of Team Cup? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's do it.
You and me, Sharon Belove. I don't know if you remember her. She was on our last Team Cup. She's curly black hair. Yeah. She's Megan something or other's coach. She's going to be part of it. So I'm going to see if she has any other coaches, and we'll build our team from there. Katie may not have enough non-diamonds in her downline to make her own team. So, and she doesn't have enough newer coaches to make a team. So we might inherit some of her non-diamonds. I'm not sure. So we'll figure that all out. Don't worry though. We'll make sure we have a team. Okay. So those are pretty much all of the announcements. So today's call is about successful time management with Beachbody coaching, because it is super, super important. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. I'm not actually prepared for it because I totally forgot to pull it up, but that's okay. I forget where to find it. I never know where anything is on this computer. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is, can you see this clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my new checklist for success. I used to call it used to be this one, top 10 activities for success.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to revitalize it and make it more meaningful for me and where I'm at with my business now and what my process is. So Katie and I had a mastermind session last week where her and I went over this for me and what this would look like. So this is what works for me every day. I need to do my PD, and I put it in order of the things that are most difficult for me to achieve.
Eat that frog.
PD is the hardest one for me always. 5 friend requests is also hardest for me.
Really? I just do it on the toilet when I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, for some reason, like I don't make it a priority, or I just can't find the right people. I'm not sure where my struggle with that is, but so I have to make that a priority. Like page posts is just not one of my other strengths, even though I like doing it. And posting about the coaching opportunities, so trying to hit that once a day, even if it's just a hint of a call or something, not like, hey, join my team, but breadcrumbing about the coaching opportunity, and then posting 5 times. And then these are the things that I just need to be doing on the daily. I need to do team page check-ins to our page. Am I posting in it some resource or some gem every day? Am I checking into the other team pages that I'm a part of, really just Fly and sometimes Positude? Am I checking to the challenge group? Have I posted today? Have I commented on everyone's things? Have I, shared some value there? All of the other groups that we're in, like the Diamond Catchers and other things like that, just making sure I'm on track there. Checking the back office. Is anyone dropped rank? Have I had a return? Do I have a newly assigned customer? How's my volume doing? Do I need to transfer any orders? Anything going on there? Send 2 new messages. Super important for me to remember to do that every day. And I set these really realistic expectations, because this is my daily. If I do more, that's great. And, I'll get it to a place when I can, work part-time with the Beachbody income and my other job and have more time. So 2 messages will be really low bar, and I'll raise it up. And then follow-ups, making sure I'm following up with people, either messages that they've responded to me and I just need to follow up with that, or going back to people that I've talked to in months prior. Doing the birthday post and doing the birthday messages are on there as more of a reminder to me to do it.
So do you do a birthday post on their wall and then send them a personal message too, or just?
I do a birthday post on their wall, and then 2 or 3 days later, I send them a message. Do you remember how to check recent birthdays?
Yeah, because it's up above.
Yeah. So I'll check like who had a birthday over the weekend. I'll message them today or Tuesday or yesterday. So that's how there we go. So that's how I organize. So that's the first tip. I've got 5 tips. The first one is having a checklist of some sort. I'm going to post this one later on in our team page. I just posted the other one last month, but I encourage you, how I made it, an Excel spreadsheet, cut it out with screenshot, put it on a PicMonkey. So I was like, Katie, how'd you make yours so pretty? And she's like, it really wasn't that hard. So if those are not in the order for you, or I didn't add Shakeology in there because I drink Shakeology every day. Yeah.
That's not hard. You don't have to remember to do that.
I don't have to remember to do that.
For breakfast every day.
And I'm just checking off one more thing to check it off. That's not part of my business. I mean, it is part of my business, but I would do it anyway. So, if you want to, that's how I would suggest making it. That's how I made it. And I like purple over baby blue. All right. So the first thing is make a checklist. Second thing is I call it the every other rule. So us sapphires, and any sapphires out there, we love things that are fun and engaging and rewarding, and that's not always this business. Any business, like you can expect to go into a business and expect everything to be fun. That's just not how it all works. It's not all sunshine and roses. Most of it is. A lot of it is. So I follow the every other rule. So I'll build in things in between there. And I make other lists throughout the day. Like, I need to remember to make sure this person gets reimbursed for their coach fee because they ordered a challenge pack last month, or I need to remember to do this, things that aren't on the checklist. So I'll make lists, but then I'll put fun things in between the not as fun things, and then I needed to write a thank you card to someone, and I love writing notes to people. So I'll put that in there as a fun thing. Or I need to pull out a few pictures to send to school for Henry. And going through pictures is fun for me. Or I need to make a new PicMonkey. So that's something I try to do, the every other rule, to make sure I'm building in fun. So it's like, okay, if I send these 5 messages, I get to go on PicMonkey. Like little reward system. So I call it the every other rule. And then the third tip is prioritizing. you know, it's unrealistic to expect at this stage right now, and based on my work history, that I will get to every single thing on that checklist every day. Mm-hmm. I will have days where I forget things on that list or don't get to them, or life happens. If I go more than a few days without hitting that checklist, I need to check myself. Yeah. Get back on, you know, stop with the excuses or whatever's holding me back. But prioritizing. So the list itself is prioritized. But when I have that list, so when I sit at my computer, I don't just automatically go to my unread messages and kind of hang out there and hope I don't newsfeed too much. So it's really important to prioritize the things that will get you long-term and short-term success in your business. So posting on my like page today is probably not going to get me a new customer or a new coach. But if I don't post on my like page every day, I'm definitely not going to build my cold market, mm-hmm. and I'm definitely not going to have growth and longevity in this business. So that's where I still have to be doing long-term things. And so that's why I make sure you're prioritizing that as well, so that your tasks are reflective of your goals. Mm-hmm. Everyone will have different goals in this business, but making sure whatever your tasks are, like this month, I know a lot of us are pushing hard for Success Club before we go to Nashville. So anything that relates to posting and messages and personal development, they're really, really, really important. Mm-hmm. And then the fourth thing is what I call the worst first. So do the worst things first. Like if there is a message sitting in your inbox that you're like that you thought they were going to buy a challenge pack, then they just asked to buy the program, and you're like, I know you're not going to get as much success, and you know, blah, blah, blah. Like I have that message sitting there that I will not go to bed tonight without doing. And that feeling that you get when the worst is over, like, it's never as bad in reality as it was in your head. Responding to a negative message, or, you know, doing a vulnerable post, or any of those things. And worst is kind of a really negative word, but just mean the thing you're least jazzed about or least excited about or most likely to push off. Just get out of the way. Worst first. It'll also just make you in better spirits after. And if it's a really negative experience, like something happened and you really don't want, you know, it causes you negative feelings, like you could take a break and like do something to get back in a positive mindset, meditation, or I now have guided meditation apps on my phone that I started using a little bit, but I'm going to start using more. They have 5-minute guided meditations. So when I get in the space, costs $1.99, it better be worth it. You know, that and Forest are the only apps I've spent money on. Still use Forest. Yeah. And the last one, with the time management and the managing of your tasks, is doing it in between the cracks. So like you were saying, friend requesting on the toilet, perfect example of how to do Beachbody between the cracks. Yes. I mean, I catch myself constantly. Like I open my phone and I see that there are notifications on Facebook. So I check the notifications. 99% of the time, that can wait. My notifications, like I need to adjust my notification settings.
I took mine off.
Yeah. To get
unless I actually have to go and dig for them.
Yeah. That's good. So those that's a time saver, because then like I was walking down to the cafeteria at work today to get milk. I steal milk from the work cafeteria. Free coffee upstairs because I don't want to pay for Starbucks every day.
Hey, whatever it takes.
But I want the milk. So I was going out to get my milk this morning, and I was like, I have 3 minutes. I can respond to one message. Like just, it doesn't seem like a huge deal because I have 17 unread messages because I've been working lately, so I have 17 messages, and I'm like, oh, okay, 17, 16, like, no, it's not a big deal.
It is.
If I can do that 5 times in a day, I take probably like 5 short walks, or go to the longer bathroom, or, you know, sit at your phone for 2 minutes extra. Or what I'm going to start doing, depending on how work's going, my work is changing a little bit. So we'll see, but I was thinking about, to adjust for the not being able to do as much work at work would be the night. Like I'm not necessarily, I have 3 calls tonight. This is call 2 of 3. I'm not necessarily going to get to all 17 calls tonight.
Mm-hmm.
17 messages tonight, but can I copy and paste some and put them in a Word document, email it to myself tonight? That will take me a minute and a half, that
Mm-hmm.
whole process. And then can I do 5 at my desk tomorrow, like while I'm eating my salad or while like
That's a really good idea.
I'm on the phone with someone or I'm just like on a conference call or something. Like, how can I make it easier for myself to use every available minute of the day? Because staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning on a regular basis every day is not healthy for me and not productive, because I get up at 5:15.
Yeah.
So, or 5:30 these days. So that's just not going to work. So how, there are some nights where I will stay up late. It's just what I will do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just what I need to do.
Right.
But how can I make it so that other times are more productive? I know I have so much more time in the day than I'm using. Like, do I need to be on the phone as much as I'm on the phone? Do I, what other times? Like when the kids are, when we're sitting down watching Frozen and I'm just scrolling Facebook, like, why am I not sending messages? They're just sitting next to me. Like,
right.
I try not to send messages when I'm hanging out with my kids, but if we're just watching a movie, it's not the end of the world.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because if I see Frozen one more time, I'm going to go cross-eyed.
Exactly. So like different ways that I can do that. Scheduling it is another tip. Like, say you have a check-in with your boss every day at 10 and you have to start preparing for it at 9:45. Okay. Well, from 9:30 to 9:35, can you send a message?
Right.
Reward yourself with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea after that for 10 minutes, and then go to your check-in or whatever it is. Like, how can you build it into your day? So those are my tips for successful time management with the Beachbody business, making it a priority. So the quote I want to end on is actually just from my call. I wrote it down as I was listening to the call with Marcus Buckingham. I was hitting what he talks about, what he's passionate about, and what he was talking about on this call was about leveraging your strengths. And what does that mean? What is a strength? And he was talking about the difference between a strength and a weakness. And we all have things that we're good at. I am ridiculously good at math. So what? Like, he would not call that a strength of mine, because I don't have a huge interest in it. I don't want to go into IT or be a mathematician. I have no use for it in my day job or in my Beachbody business. The most I count to is four containers. Like, I don't do a lot of counting every day. So he would not call that a strength, because it's not something that strengthens me as a person and impassions me. And so there's a really interesting perspective. So he had this quote, we are more fearful of our weaknesses than we are of honoring our strengths. And he was talking about, in this particular quote, about how when your kid gets a report card and she has two B's, a C, and an F, and an A. So he says for the last 40 years, and he used to work for Gallup, so he has all this survey data. For the last 40 years, there has never been a year when all parents surveyed answered the following question less than 70% of the time. When they were asked, which course did you focus on first? Which will you address with your child first?
The A.
Yes, see, you were in the 30%. 70% of parents will focus on the F.
Really?
Yeah, like why? What happened in history class? Why did you get an F? Why did you fail your test? And we do it with ourselves even more. Like, God, why did I eat that cookie at lunch today? Not, great job, I had a shake for breakfast, then my eggs were really good. Yeah, I had the cookie, but then after that I followed it up with a gym session, and I'm closing out the night with fruit for dessert instead of the ice cream that my daughter left in the freezer. What do you focus on in the day?
The cookie.
The cookie. So we are so afraid of our weaknesses. We're afraid of what it does to us that it takes away from focusing on our strengths, because building up our strengths will help us more than changing our weaknesses. When you build up your strengths, they will bring up the rest of your being. I mean, it's not to say to ignore them and pretend they don't exist and don't work on them, but
it's kind of like when you focus on the positive things and you focus on what you want to happen, you will go that direction.
Exactly.
You focus on your weaknesses, you'll go in that direction too.
Exactly. So it was just a lot about focusing on your strength. And I thought that tied into tonight's call about time management, because I know neither of us are very good at this aspect of the business. So what strength do I have? I love checking things off.
Mm-hmm.
It impassions me to do fun things. So how can I make this fun? How can I focus on that piece of me? And, like, I've been into lately trying to find the positives of being a sapphire, because the first 6 months I found out I was a sapphire, I focused on the negatives. So now I'm like, okay, well, that was silly, waste of time. Let me focus on the positives. So I'm trying to been doing that, focusing on the strengths. So those are my 5 tips for success.
Sounds good.
That's what I had. And we finished with time to take a quick break, and then we have our call. I'm sorry.